everybody fucking died. I'm sitting there on like episode 6, I think it's 7. I'm like, oh, this shit getting wicked, you know what I mean? These niggas getting, you know what I mean? They flexing, they leveling up, shit about to pop off, and then everybody fucking dies. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. You know what I mean? That shit threw me all the way. I'm on the chair sitting right here when I saw everybody die, and I'm back in New York. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did we get here? You know what I mean? I had to like bring the episode back and rewind. I'm like, yo, how the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that shit, what? Welcome back, anime heads, anime fans, anime friends. I actually looked this up today, and the correct vernacular, which is a Japanese word, which was, I guess, a Japanese word that was translated or like adopted, and they call it otaku. So that's the correct vernacular for a group of people that are like heavily invested or obsessed in a sense with one specific like anime, manga, and things like that. So what up, otaku, my fellow otakus? You know what I mean? It sounds crazy. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but fuck it. It is what it is. Yeah. What up, my fellow otakus? Welcome back to another episode of the Com Arc. I'm here. It's your host, Caveman. What up, gang, gang? So I put the pause on One Piece. I'm on season 8 now, I believe, and I started watching the live action version on Netflix of One Piece, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's a little weird for me because you get so like you get heavily invested into the cartoon series, and you have these voiceover actors, which in my honest opinion, I feel like these voice actors are like, you know, portraying the character, you know what I mean? So you get in a sense of like, you know, the use of their voices, and it's hard to put the voices with the, you know what I mean, the faces. And so when they did the live action, I was kind of like, this don't fucking sound like Luffy. Who the fuck is this fucking Spanish nigga? You know what I mean? So I shout out to my nigga Moolah. You know, I'm in a group chat with my mans, and my nigga Moolah basically told me that Luffy was Brazilian, and I'm like, ain't no fucking way. You know, I to this day I haven't even looked it up, and that was like a couple weeks ago. So you know, I want to look up the characters, what their ethnicity is, and you know what their background is, and if you know they kind of follow to the T of, you know, casting directly. I mean, yeah, casting. You know, not directly, but you know, casting correctly. You know, so I watched the first episode. I'm not gonna lie to you, it made me want to rewatch the anime version because I can't. I'm at season 7. You know what I mean? You know how much shit happened from season 1 to season 7, bro. We talking like, yo, how many? I mean, like Luffy went from I'm about to be king of the pirates to, oh, this nigga got hockey. He flexing on niggas. You look at Luffy wrong, ha, you dead, nigga. That's where we at right now with the fucking whole shit. So I'll put a pause on it right now though. They got I'm at like the part where they're doing Pans Fry, where they have to rescue Pans Fry and shit like that. So I put a pause on it, you know, and the names too. The names of One Piece, pure comical. Like, you know what I mean? Zoro, Roanoa Zoro, which, you know what I mean, you will play on, I guess, the American Zoro thing. I'm not even sure if Zoro's even American, you know what I mean? But you got to play on Zoro, and then you got, there's a lot of names throughout the show, you know, Pants Fry, and even, like, there's a lot of names. It's escaping me right now. I'm gonna write a list of all the names in One Piece that I've came across so far that were reminiscent of like a food or something in America or something similar, you know what I mean? Like, they have very funny names, you know what I mean? And, yeah, so I put the pause, and now I'm here to talk about y'all about Chainsaw Man. I'm 11 episodes into Chainsaw Man. I just obviously started it, and it's really good. It got me the first. I said I was only gonna watch the first 3 episodes and then give myself a review the first 3 episodes. 11 episodes later, I'm like halfway through the 11th episode, and yeah, it's picking up. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have some like talking points I want to touch on because I'm like, you know what I mean? It's wicked, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I want to get these thoughts out, you know, because I kind of want to know what you guys feel, how y'all feel about it, you know what I mean? What your thought about it is, and you know, if you guys resonate with what I'm saying. So like, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the transformation. You know what I mean? Like why he transforms like that. You know what I mean? Like that nigga head explodes, boom, now he gone, and then a chainsaw head appears, which I understand chainsaw whatever, which the setup is kind of cool. Chainsaw hands, fucking on your niggas up. Chainsaw head, you gonna kick me? Nigga, yeah, buddy, you lost your leg. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but like, I feel like they could have done that just a little bit better, maybe a little bit different, in a sense of like, you got, instead of his head popping off and then melting away to go back to his regular head, which is underneath everything, I feel like you could do like something that transforms. You know what I mean? Like something that like, you know what I mean, wrap like his head, like the chainsaw basically like it comes from inside his body, he wraps around and bang. You know what I mean? And then like the chainsaw, you know, comes out through the, you know, through the helmet. You know, being that he is a devil, you know? So something like that. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? But those are my thoughts on it, you know what I mean? I feel like the transformation could have been a little bit more different, you know, a little more seamless in a sense. But, you know, what are your thoughts on the transformation? You know what I mean? How do you guys feel about Denji's transformation and how it looks and things like that? Do you have any opinions on that? Do you guys feel like it could be any different? How would you guys like to see the transformation with Denji? You know what I mean? Leave it down in the comments below, and you know, we could talk about it. And then another thing I want to talk about was like, you know, I think at one point in the show he had like, they gave him like a goal or something like that, something to achieve, and he ended up doing it. You know what I mean? So like, it kind of like that resonated with me a little bit. You know what I mean? Chasing your goals versus achieving your goals. Cause you know, if I'm chasing this, you know what I mean? Like I got this fire, this drive that's pushing me, is motivating me, is getting me going to be able to accomplish this specific goal, you know? And then once you get that goal, you know what I mean? Does it feel as good as you was when you were chasing it, or you know what I mean, or does it not? You know, you guys aren't satisfied. Because I forgot what it was in the show, but Denji was chasing something, excuse me, and then he got to the point where he achieved the goal that he was trying to, but then he wasn't satisfied with the results of it. He's like, damn, this is what it feels like. Like I'd rather just chase my dreams than never get them. You know what I mean? So that resonated with me as well, because you know, like that just kind of defines the type of person you are. You know, are you like the type of person that enjoys the thrills, the chase, the hunt and stuff like that, or you know what I mean? Or you get the satisfaction of knowing that you accomplished something and you can be able to do it, you know, so if you wanted to do it again, set your mind to something to accomplish, you can accomplish the goal, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like where I'm at with it, you know, and so like I said, I resonated with him in a sense of like, I like the thought and the passion and the drive of chasing something as opposed to actually accomplishing it, because sometimes you get that thrill, you know, it's like the thrill of the hunt essentially, and I think that's where I resonate, you know what I mean? So, you know, I've been disappointed sometimes. I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean, that I've gotten to the point, even with this camera stuff, you know, for an example, just to give you guys an example, I was really hyped, you know what I mean? I wanted the camera gear, I want to set in my own studio, I want to do all extra stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm working towards this goal of getting everything, and now I got everything I wanted. And I'm kind of like, well, now what, you know? So, not to say I'm not satisfied, I'm not happy, that gives me a chance to this platform to be able to talk to you guys, my lovely otakus, and be able to, you know what I mean? We could resonate and talk to each other, you know what I mean? Which is something I like doing, I like, you know, engaging and stuff like that. So, you know, which leads me to my next, you know what I mean, question, you know, like, what do you guys prefer, chasing or acquiring, you know, your goals, you know? What is something that you guys were chasing, and then when you guys once achieved it, if you guys ever happened to you guys, you were chasing something, you guys achieved it, and you kind of felt the sense of like disappointment, you know what I mean? So, you know, leave that in the comments below, let me know, you know, what's something you guys were chasing, you guys ended up getting, and then like, damn, this doesn't feel good. Or maybe you guys are the type of person like me, you know, I enjoy the thrill of the hunt. You know what I mean? I'm about to go for this, and once I get it, it's clipped. I got it. It's over. You know what I mean? And like I'm very hyper focused in a sense. You know? So yeah, let me know what your thoughts on that is. You know? And then something else is like the show. I mean, not just this show. There's a lot, especially in One Piece. There's a lot of sexualization in anime, and I kind of feel like I'm like, you know, it's a little. You know, it's a little much sometimes, but then you have to also understand that, you know, in this case specifically, Denji's a 16-year-old kid. I know what it was to be 16, you know what I mean, and want to be hyper focused. And plus, he didn't really have any friends growing up. He doesn't have like what you call a quote unquote normal life. So, you know, what's your, you know, like the sexualization in general of the show and everything like that, and across anime. It's not just the show, it's across anime in general. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Because like, I understand what it is to be 16 and be horny as fuck. You know what I mean? I was 16. When I was 16, I was fucking crazy. I was cutting school to get pussy. You know what I mean? So like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people was doing that. You know, a lot of old head was. We not even going to school today. We have to class some cheeks. You know what I mean? We not even go to school this week. You know, type shit. So, it's growing up in the city. You know what I mean? So, what's your thoughts on the sexualization of anime? You know what I mean? Would you guys want to watch a show that isn't highly sexualized, where, you know what I mean, every chance opportunity you get, they're exploiting, you know, the sexuality of women and stuff like that? And I'm not trying to sound like, you know what I mean, I guess the correct vernacular is a feminist, you know what I mean? Don't leave these women alone type shit. You know, you have to have respect for women, you know what I mean? Some women, yes, I understand you have to respect for women. Some women don't. Fuck them bitches, you know what I mean? It's a case-by-case kind of situation, you know? So, and that's how I operate, you know what I mean? And, yeah, so like, I mean, what's your, you know, what's your thoughts on the sexualization of anime? You know what I mean? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know. You know, like I said, I understand Denji and where he's at because he's 16. He wants to clap everything because I was 16 and I was clapping for hours. So I already know. And even when I was in school, I'd clap in the morning, go to school, and I'm looking at shorty like, when we fucking again? Because I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? You young, you ready to go. You got all that vigor, all that energy. You got all that big dick energy type shit. Pause. I mean, you ready to clap shit. You know what I mean? So I understand, like I said. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on that is. You know, because I'm kind of like, I'm teetering the fence. You know what I mean? Do you guys want to watch a show without the sexualization, or are you guys okay with the sexualization? And it kind of adds a little bit more, you know, kind of a little more interest to the storyline. So now you get a little bit more resonation with the character. You know, let me know what you guys think, because I'm a little weird. You know what I mean? It's just, you know. So, and then like I said, I'm in episode 11. So like, there was a wild plot twist where like everybody fucking, well, like, dies. You know what I mean? Everybody except for a few people. You know what I mean? They're trying to get Denji. You know what I mean? They're going after the gun devil. And this is, you know, spoiler alerts. I'm gonna put something in the beginning of this so that you guys know this is straight spoilers. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys seen it because it's only, you know, the movie just came out in October, and I'm ready to watch the next 2 installments. And there's 2 movies on Crunchyroll, and then there's a movie that came out in theaters that I'm gonna probably end up checking out. But everybody fucking died. I'm sitting there on like episode 6, I think, or 7. I'm like, oh, this shit getting wicked. You know what I mean? These niggas getting, you know what I mean? They flexing, they leveling up, shit about to pop off, and then everybody fucking dies. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. You know what I mean? That shit threw me all the way. I'm on the chair sitting right here when I saw everybody die, and I'm back in New York. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did we get here? You know what I mean? I had to like bring the episode back and rewind. I'm like, yo, how the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that shit, what? Fuck me up. But see what I mean? The plot twist in these anime series is fucking crazy. And some of them you don't see coming, like this one right here. I did not see that shit coming at all. I was fucking all the way like, blur? You know what I mean? Like, raggy? I was all the way fucked up, you know? So, but Makima survived, you know what I mean? Which is kind of cool, because that's who Denji trying to clap. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. We're going back to the sexualization part, you know what I mean? If I was Denji, and that bitch that promised that bitch that the nigga kissed in the store that threw open his mouth, I'd have clapped shorty. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm 16. I want some pussy. I'm clapping this bitch, my nigga. Fuck Makima. You know what I mean? Not to say fuck Makima in a sense like that, because, you know, I know Denji want to clap that. I know Denji want to be all up in that. You know what I mean? But like, why save yourself for a woman that's just using you? You know what I mean? So what? You get you kill the gun devil. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but say you kill the gun devil, you clap Makima, and now she's like, nigga, leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like leave me alone, bro. And that bitch is, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. She something weird about her. I started like episode like 11. Shit get weird. Shit get real fucking weird. Like, now she knew about the assassination and she didn't prevent the shit. And I'm like, how the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And now she in the Yakuza office talking to these niggas to try to get like, man, this shit, shorty next level. Shorty, I gotta figure this out. I got an episode and a half and the 2 movies and 3 movies basically. So I'm gonna figure that shit out. I'll get back to y'all on the next one when I figure that out. But yeah. And then also like, is it worth it? In my opinion, I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Is it worth it to save yourself for someone that's only using you? You know what I mean? Like, how would you guys feel about that? You know, if your only opportunity to, you know, to fuck a bitch or to fuck a nigga, a bitch, whoever it is you guys prefer. I don't know what the fuck, you know what I mean? whatever it is. How would you guys feel in order to be able to accomplish a sexual desire of yours? You had to like basically do something, and once you achieve that goal, you know what I mean, and you're able to get what you want, would you feel satisfied? Would you go all the way back to what I put up before? Would you feel satisfied, or was it the thrill of the hunt? You know what I mean? For me, the thrill of the hunt is more fun than actual like achieving the goal. You know, so I'm about to go kill this gun devil. I flexed up, I leveled up, I clapped, showed, and I'm sitting like, damn. Was it really worth it? You know what I mean? Was it really worth it? That's where I'm at right now. So how would you guys feel? Would you guys think it's worth it to be able to, you know, chase this goal and be able to achieve it, and then, you know what I mean, your reward at the end of it is strictly sexual? You know, like would you think that's worth it? You know, I don't know. For me, it's not. You know, so yeah. And then like another thing as well is like the devils. Everybody got to deal with the devil. Everybody got to deal with the devil. And then you got to sacrifice something, either yourself or a body part. And that's kind of like, that shit kind of crazy, right? Well, you're using devils to fight devils. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think that's a little satanic? I mean, obviously it's satanic, but like, where's God in this shit, you know? You know, where's the representation of goodness, you know? Yeah, I guess you could say the devil hunters, and that, like, you know, they're doing the deal with the devil to be able to save the, you know, the humanity, world, the population or whatever. But you don't think there's a hand in God in this? I'm not heavily religious. I'm far from heavily religious. You know what I mean? I do believe in God. It's just my own take, you know what I mean? And I do, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Where's God's reputation in this? Not to say that, like, you know what I mean, I'm looking for it, you know what I mean? You don't have to like be heavily religious and shit like that. It's just my thoughts, you know, things that I go through, you know what I mean? Like, everybody got to deal with the devil. And how do you navigate that, you know? Because say you extinguish all the devils that are trying to take over the world, and now you have to deal with this devil, and you're like, all right, cool, we done, we just gonna chill now. Nah, nigga, you made that deal with the devil, bro. You losing an eye, you losing a leg, you losing your life, you losing something. You know what I mean? Like, so like, how do you justify that? How do you justify that? You know, what I wouldn't, just me personally, I wouldn't make a deal with the devil to be able to, like, you know, gain these superpowers, and then it's like, all right, cool, now that I'm done, I'm gone. You know? And you're gonna be forgotten within the first 5 fucking years. You know what I mean? Oh, this nigga made the sacrifice. Anybody know you making a sacrifice, nigga? Nobody give a fuck. They alive, that's all that fucking matters. They about to keep going up on their day and like keeping it pushing, not worried about shit. You know? So yeah, that's my thought. I wouldn't make the deal with the devil. How about you guys? Would you guys make a deal with the devil? Or would you guys, you know, to be able to save for the betterment of others? You know, because that's exactly what it is. You're making a deal with the devil for the betterment of humanity and civilization. Do you guys have that type of selflessness, in a sense? Very selflessness. You guys are you able to be that selfless? And if so, like, what would be a power that you guys would hope to attain? You know what I mean? And you don't think, I don't know, for me, like I said, I'm not very heavily into religion, but you don't think that there's a way to be able to make a deal with God or something in that sense? Because where's God in all of this shit? You just tell me the devil is running amok, and then that nigga up there like, let them niggas do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, what? That shit kind of crazy. It is kind of what's going on right now, but it's still kind of fucking crazy. But yeah, what is the deal? Would you guys take a deal with the devil to get some type of power? And what type of power would it is that you guys would be hoping to get if you guys do make a deal with the devil? You guys have to take into consideration you're not doing this just to get these powers. You're doing it to save the world. They do have that type of selflessness inside of you. And I don't. I'm fucking no. I give me a power nigga, I'm robbing the bank. I'm doing whatever the fuck it is that I want to do. You know what I mean? Stop me, nigga, type shit. I'm lying. Maybe 50-50. 50-50. It all depends on fucking know. But yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all right now for today. You know what I mean? I've been really trying to shoot this for a little bit now. It's taking me a long time. Life has been definitely fucking life, and you know, from the holidays, you can see the Christmas tree behind me. We December now. So yeah. Stay tuned. You know, I want to watch the last couple episodes of Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna end up watching the 2 movies, 3 movies, excuse me, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna let y'all know what's up. You know what I mean? I think that should be, you know, pretty dope. You know, I started watching another anime. I think it was Tokyo Demon or something like that. Tokyo Devil or something. I forgot what it was. She pretty dope. You know, I'm running through little by little. You know what I mean? Attack on Titan I saw a while ago. I'm pretty sure I touched it on the first video I put in. But yeah, and then season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen is supposed to be coming out, as well as a movie. So, you know, real big with anime this year. You know what I mean? I think anime is really taking off in the Americas. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, are resonating, and you know, now a lot more on my timeline on IG. I see a lot more anime related content, which I never saw before. You know, so I'm not, you know, hopefully I could be, you know, help push the genre forward and be a pioneer more than what's happening now. You know what I mean? So, you know, I really do appreciate y'all checking it out and tuning into me and listening to my rants and resonating with me, you know. So I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy. Happy holidays. Love y'all otakus, and peace out, homies.